During a press conference at his home at Mar-a-Lago this week, Donald Trump went completely off script while trying to talk about foreign policy and landed that conversation with an attack on Michelle Obama as a nasty woman. Which nasty, of course, is one of Donald Trump's favorite words to use about any woman that does not like him, right? Judge Tanya Chutkan, she's nasty. Fani Willis, she's nasty towards him. Letitia James, been very nasty. And of course now Michelle Obama, very nasty. It's almost like clockwork. And usually it's any time a woman of color is not nice to Donald Trump, as were all those examples I mentioned, those are the nasty women. So if you're a black woman in the United States, this is what Donald Trump thinks of you. Because that usually is an attack that he reserves for African American women. But here is what he said in this press conference, which for the record, before I even get into the comment here, he was an hour late to this press conference that he called and was in his own home. He was an hour late for something that happened in his own house that he had planned. That's just absolutely bonkers. Even Fox News couldn't believe that. But here is what he said about Michelle Obama. And again, he didn't start off talking about Michelle. He just eventually landed there. To be honest with you, if I didn't have somewhat of a relationship with Russia and Putin and all, we had to have it. And by the way, getting along with President Xi and Putin and Kim Jong-un of North Korea, if you remember when I met Obama, his wife was very nasty to me the other day. Now, I'm not even done, and I wish I was like misquoting him here. I wish I was skipping parts of this conversation, but no. That weird stream of consciousness is what came out of his mouth in that order. I'll read it again in case you need to fully analyze how insane this statement is. To be honest with you, if I didn't have somewhat of a relationship with Russia and Putin and all, we had to have it. And by the way, getting along with President Xi and Putin and Kim Jong-un of North Korea, if you remember when I met Obama, his wife was very nasty to me the other day. If you were a kindergarten student and you turned in that sentence to your teacher, she'd be calling your parents and being like, hey, I don't think he's ready for kindergarten yet. I think we may need to go back to pre-K because I can't make sense of this. But that came out of the mouth of a 70-year-old man running for president. And that is literally like just two sentences. That is two sentences. When I met Obama the other day, or when I met Obama, his wife was nasty to me the other day. Jesus Christ. And anyway, he continues. Like, that was not nice. She was very nasty. She said nasty things. I was always very respectful of her. But by the way, I didn't stutter. That's the exact transcript. I was always very respectful of her. But she got up there, which shows you how nervous they are about what's happening. But she was nasty 2 days ago. She got up and said some bad things she shouldn't have said. They were wrong too, but we're going to turn our country around. After that press conference, he then went to Atlanta for a rally where he continued his hatred of Michelle Obama, saying this. I always tried to be so nice and respectful. Oh, she opened up a little bit of a box. She opened up a little bit of something. Oh, she was nasty. Shouldn't be that way. That was a big mistake that she made. So the question, of course, is, what did she say that was so nasty? Well, here it is.
Remember how woefully unprepared he was? How he was sowing seeds of fear and confusion, endangering lives with his lies and ignorance, denigrating the doctors and scientists trying to help us. You want to talk about plans? Well, my husband left him a very detailed pandemic plan. And you know what he did? He ignored it. He had no clue how to get us out of that crisis. No ability to bring back the millions of jobs we lost so suddenly. No idea how to get our students back into school safely. No attempt to to help stem the epidemic of loneliness and isolation that too many of our young people are still dealing with. And his failures had real cost. America lost 7 million more jobs during the COVID downturn than the European Union. Among wealthy nations, the United States had one of the highest COVID death rates. Again, all of this occurred with Trump in charge. And sadly, this was just the tragic exclamation point on his disastrous presidency. Installing judges and justices who have now stripped away our reproductive freedoms. Cracking down on protesters marching to protect their sons from being shot because of the color of their skin. Rolling back protections for LGBTQ Americans. Fanning conspiracy theories, unleashing hatred in our communities. And then, when the American people fired him from a job that was too big for him to begin with, he tried to steal it.
So that's it. There weren't, and I know that was not the full everything she said, but I've been through her speech. She wasn't engaging in personal attacks. She didn't attack you for being orange and having that line of orange all around your face that everybody's been making fun of recently. She didn't do any of that. She didn't mock you for your weight or for your IQ or for your cognitive impairment, as plenty of others do. What she did was talk about your record. Like, that's it. And that's nasty. So we can't talk about Donald Trump's record because if we do, we're nasty. We're the bad people for talking about how horrible things were the first time that Donald Trump was president. Hopefully the only time that Donald Trump gets to play president. You fumbled the pandemic so badly because you felt the need to put your stupid face on television doing a press conference every day. That's, of course, where we got his suggestions that we can inject the disinfectant and then they've got something with the ultraviolet lights. Because he didn't specifically say bleach, he said injecting the disinfectant, which a lot of people took to mean was bleach. But we can attack your record. There's a lot to attack with that record. And for the record, nothing that Michelle Obama said was untrue. You can claim all you want that what she said wasn't real, but that doesn't make it any less real. You did, in fact, do the things that she accused you of doing. And none of that was nasty. She was not screaming into the microphone. She was not engaging in the personal attacks. She was simply reminding voters how horrible things were the last time you had power in hopes that they would do everything possible at the voting, next week to prevent you from getting that power again. That's all she did. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.